Hey guys, what's cracking? Aussie here with another video. Today we're going to be covering a few more Solana projects that have popped up onto my radar in the past 3 or 4 days. Some of these are still pretty early, so you've got time to get onto the whitelist, to get into the closed discords and whatnot. I was making a comment today about whether this whitelist meta will continue on the Solana ecosystem. Whether or not it will, I don't exactly know. It's basically come around because of the bot scenario that we did have. Everyone was just botting the public mint, and so we kind of moved to the whitelist meta, which we're seeing at the moment. Whether or not someone figures out a solution that doesn't require whitelisting, we're yet to see that, but it's going to be kind of interesting to see how long this whitelist meta sticks around, or whether it kind of evolves and changes. But nevertheless, let's jump into the projects that I have on my list for you guys. Forgot to say real quick that this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. NFTs are a pretty risky thing, so if you guys do not know what you're doing, do not follow what I'm saying. You need to go and do your own research before investing into these projects. They could literally all go to zero, and that's going to be on you if you don't do your own research. This is just my opinion. This is what I'm going to be doing, so don't go and follow me black and white, because I do lose as well, guys. I'm not always winning, but yeah, go do your own research, and let's jump into the projects. The first project I wanted to cover was one called Bochi Bones, or Bochi Bones, however you pronounce it. They've only been around for 4 or 5 days, and these guys are almost at 10k followers. It's again kind of following that whitelist meta that we're seeing on the Solana ecosystem. It's got a low supply of 777 bones, so that's their NFTs. They're a whitelist only mint, and obviously it's kind of following that pixel meta vibe as well. As you can see, it's kind of like that animated pixel art, which I think is pretty cool. You can see that basically every single one of their tweets so far has thousands and thousands of likes and retweets. This one here is obviously one of those tweets where any interaction is going to be considered for a whitelist spot. I'm in their Discord at the moment, which is closed, so again, you'll want to be following these guys. You want to have notifications on. There's no launch date at the moment. The only information that we've got is that it's a 777 supply, and the mint price is going to be 1.5 Sol. So in my opinion, these two things here, combined with the fact that there is clear demand for this project, I think this is going to be primed to blow up on secondary on Magic Eden. If they're minting for 1.5 Sol, I can honestly see the whitelist tokens, if they are sold on famous Fox Federation's token marketplace, I could see those going anywhere from 3 Sol and upwards, even more, to be honest. Maybe even 5 Sol you could sell a whitelist token for. If they just go the route where you just get whitelisted via your wallet, and then you decide to mint, then I think these will be primed to blow up, like I said, on Magic Eden. But besides that, there's not too much information. There are probably around like 300 people or so on the whitelist. These are just online people, so you've got to take into consideration there's going to be people offline that are on the whitelist. So let's just say there's probably around 350 people on the whitelist at the moment that are in this Discord. There's only 600 people in the Discord. So once you get into the Discord, you've then got to go and obviously get whitelisted. But besides that, they've really only made probably like 6 or 7 announcements within the past week or so, I would assume. And besides that, there is nothing else that we know. But definitely one that I wanted to put onto your radar, because obviously this one I think is definitely primed to kind of explode with the low supply, whitelist only, pixel, and obviously the demand for the project is pretty incredible at the moment. But nothing else besides that, so let's jump on to the next project. So this project here is called Blocksmith Labs, and it's actually built by a fair few DGOT holders. And this project is just super fucking refreshing in my opinion, just clearly because they're offering a solution to a problem that exists in the Solana ecosystem right now. So projects that mint out, they obviously need certain bots and tools for their Discord. So you think of like listing bots, sales bots, rarity bots, holder verification bots, things like that. You have to go and get from individual companies. So for example, if you want to get verified holders into separate channels on your Discord, you need either Matrica or Grape. For rarity bots, then you need to go and basically build those by yourself as a custom bot. For sales bots, you need to go and pay someone else to do that for you. So what these guys are technically doing, what they are doing is they're building a suite of all these tools, and then they're going to offer those to projects for a price, and they haven't really released what that price is going to be for projects yet. Might be 1 Sol a month, 2 Sol a month, I don't know. But they're going to be basically allowing projects to use their suite of tools and then the revenue that they get from that will then be distributed back to the holders of the NFTs that they're going to shortly mint out. So these guys are going to be offering NFTs to people who want to buy their NFTs. People who mint those are going to be sharing the revenue that is then generated from selling that suite of tools to projects that want to use them. So I think these guys are going to do extremely well. They've only just launched, I'll probably say around 2 or 3 weeks ago, so there's still plenty of time to get onto their whitelist. They do also have an open Discord, so you don't have to worry about trying to get into their Discord. You don't have to worry about refreshing and trying to be quick to get into their open Discord. To get on their whitelist, it's basically the same sort of things like fan art, just being engaged and interactive into their community, suggesting things. And besides that, a big way that they're whitelisting people is just being a part of DAOs. So, for example, the Gods DAO, DDAO got whitelist spots for these guys, and a bunch of other DAOs like the Monkeys, I would say DJ Apes, all those guys have been offered whitelist spots for Blocksmith Labs just for being a part of the project. And obviously, you know how that works. You just enter a raffle, or sometimes it's first come, first serve. And that's the way that you can get whitelisted into this project. But aside from that, I've myself done a Twitter giveaway for these guys for whitelist spots, and they're doing that with plenty of other people in the space as well. So just keep an eye out for these guys. Usually they like and retweet that sort of stuff as well when there are whitelist spots being given away on people's Twitter accounts. So you can put notifications on if you want. I just like kind of seeing what these guys are tweeting out. They don't tweet too often. I would say maybe once or twice a day they tweet some stuff out. But you can see their art is pretty cool art, and I would say it's kind of following that DGOD theme. Like I said, the majority of the founders on this team are DGOD holders. I'm pretty sure every single one of them are. These guys who are the founders of the project, I've interacted in the DGODs community with. So I wholeheartedly have confidence in these guys to go and deliver, because I know what they've done for DGODs and I know how valuable they've been in the community. And I do know that one of the team members, his name is Mert. I'm trying to find him. I follow him on Twitter. He has a really, really good following on Twitter as well. Very, very respected guy amongst the other builders that are in this team. So because of that, I'm just extremely bullish on this project. I think it's going to do really, really well. They're not minting until mid-March, so you still have, I would say, 2 or 3 weeks to go and get on their whitelist. There's still plenty of time. And besides that, there's not too much information released. Besides that, they've only just released this a few days ago, which is their first sneak peek. So there's still plenty of time for them to go and iterate things like that and release a bunch of other information. But definitely one that I wanted to put on your radar. It's more than just your art, staking sort of vibe. This is actually a project that delivers a huge solution to a gap that's in the market at the moment. So I think projects that want to obviously have that suite of tools available to them, I think they'll be willing to pay whatever price, because at the moment you've got to go and build it yourself. You've got to go and pay this person, pay that person, and just get to mess, as you can kind of figure out. So besides that, let's jump on to the next project. So the next project I wanted to have a quick chat about is Zetaverse. This is kind of seeming like it's going to be a metaverse project. At the moment, there's literally a GM tweet, and then aside from that, it's kind of like this broken code riddle sort of tweets that they're tweeting out. So they have an open Discord. Once you get into their Discord, there is an announcement tab, there is a theories tab, whitelist chat, and then a blue list chat. So at the moment, as you can see from his first announcement in here, he's got now the only choice that matters is red or blue. So they have a blue list and they have a red list. If you're on the blue list, you have access to the blue chat. If you're on the red list, I assume you would have access to a red chat. Then you have a whitelist chat. Anyone that is blue listed or that is red listed is automatically on the whitelist. And then aside that, you've got people in the theories channel that just have that just have no role, which means they're still to be whitelisted, to be red listed or blue listed. At the moment, you can see in here that Parzival, which is the project founder, has said that the best theories get whitelisted. So I would assume that means that anyone that is not blue listed or red listed at the moment, anyone that goes and kind of has the best theory for what any of this means is going to be whitelisted. So that is the best shot that you have at whitelist at the moment. There's literally no fan art, no Twitter giveaways, nothing at all. It's an extremely early project. The guy behind it, Parzival, he's a fairly reputable guy. I follow him on Twitter, and I think he follows me back, and has quite a decent following. But aside from that, he's been very, very low-key, and I do not think that he has at all announced that this is publicly his project. It's kind of just like a secret thing that he's got. I don't even think he's got anything about it in his actual bio. It's just on the Zetaverse Twitter account, and that's it. So besides that, it's every man for himself. Go and check it out, see what it can be. But besides that, let's jump on to the next project. So one of the last projects I wanted to chat about is called Everseed, at @PlayEverseed on Twitter. And you can see that they've got a very decent Twitter following. This is a crypto gaming project. And so I think one of the more promising things around this project is that it is built by a new studio, but the people behind this new studio have worked on other studios like Riot Games. And so Riot Games, if you don't know, is responsible for games like League of Legends and also Valorant. So those two games alone are extremely popular games, obviously. And so to have people that may have potentially worked on these games or have just been a part of Riot Games, which have built a ton of other great games as well, is super promising, because they can bring the experience that they've had from that studio into this new studio that a couple of the guys have obviously created, and they are building Everseed. So there's not too much information on Everseed at the moment. They're fairly kind of they're kind of a project that is just building. So they're just behind the scenes, building quietly. They do have a Discord, so if you want to jump into their Discord, it is open. You don't have to worry about getting into closed Discords or whatnot. Their beta for this is releasing in Q4 this year, so there's still a while away, I would say. And you can see that even though I'm in the Discord, I'm verified, I don't have access to this, to the general chat or anything. And that's just because the people that were early, that were kind of considered OGs, are the only people that have access to type into these chats. And that's kind of because they've chosen the route to preserve the original people that were in the community, to kind of preserve that. Because you can imagine if you've got a bunch of people going and flocking to a project that is super hyped up into this, you just get a lot of spammy people who all they want to do is get into the Discord to get whitelist. So they've kind of decided to block that off and just preserve the community for what it is at the moment. I've been a part of another project on the ETH blockchain, Pixelmon, and they're a huge project, and I think they had like 200,000 people on their Twitter. They're an extremely hyped up project, and they did the same thing. They blocked off the Discord for anyone that wasn't kind of early, and that way they kind of got rid of all the people that would have just jumped into the Discord and just started spamming and saying like when whitelist or whatnot. So I think that's a good move on their behalf, especially considering that there's quite a while to their beta. There's not really any information on when they're going to be minting out. They do have quite a few sneak peeks that you can kind of jump in and have a look, as well as their website. They have some interactive stuff on their website where you can go and click on these animals and have a bit of a look at them and how they look. I assume that these will eventually be the NFTs that they do mint out. Any more of like the actual game mechanics and how that's working, you can jump onto there as well. But I'm particularly bullish on crypto gaming. I think it's eventually going to kind of be widely adapted and played on streaming services like Twitch and whatnot. But for now, this project doesn't have too much information, and their roadmap isn't released yet. As you can see, they're kind of still building that out. So it just shows how early these guys are. But the gaming studio is called Army Han Entertainment, and this is obviously built by guys that have worked at studios like Riot Games, and I think they've even worked at studios like Blizzard and others as well. So there's your information for that. Without further ado, let's jump on to the last project. So the last project I wanted to cover is called the Orcs, at the Orcs NFT on Twitter. You can see that they're going to be doing an 8,888 collection, which is definitely higher for the Solana side of things, but I don't think they'll have any problem selling that out personally, because I've got a 57,000 following on Twitter, and their Discord is absolutely pumping. It's got almost 100k there as well. So you can see just on these sneak peek announcements here, they're getting thousands and thousands of reacts, which is obviously good news in my books. And their announcement channel is exactly the same. They're getting thousands and thousands of reacts on all of their announcements as well. Obviously, with that said, if you're not already on their whitelist, it's going to be very, very competitive. They have an open Discord, so you don't have to worry about trying to get into a closed Discord. No stress there. But once you're in, you can obviously tell that there's going to be hundreds and thousands of other people that are trying to get on that whitelist. And if you just scroll into the general chat, you can see that people are extremely active and they're typing messages literally every second or two. So you've got to do a very, very good job at making yourself stand out to get on the whitelist. Other than that, you can do, I would assume, fan art, maybe even lore submissions and things like that. Or just entering Twitter giveaways. I know that I've done a Twitter giveaway on my personal Twitter, as a lot of other people have done as well. These guys usually do Twitter giveaways on their own Twitter account as well. But aside from that, they are a gaming project, which I forgot to mention at the start, but that's what they are. You can see that this pinned tweet here it's incredible for a Solana project. I don't think I've seen this sort of engagement on a Solana related project as I have with this one. It's got almost 25,000 likes, almost 16,000 retweets, and it's got 162,000 views. So this is gameplay of the game that they plan to release. I'm not sure if they've actually released a beta date. This is obviously their launch trailer. I don't think they have a beta release date yet for this project, but aside from that, jump into their Discord, do your best at getting whitelist. I would say at the moment, the best way with minimal effort is just to be entering Twitter giveaways for these guys. Their whitelist is open, but they do mint in around a week. So the odds of you getting whitelist now are starting to get very, very slim. I would say that regardless or not, if these guys are doing a whitelist token or whether it's just whitelisted via your wallet, they're going to perform very well on secondary on Magic Eden, depending although on their mint price. If their mint price is something more steeper at 3 Sol, I would say the potential is going to be lower for them to do well on secondary, whereas if they mint for 1 Sol or 1.5 Sol, I think that would kind of be the prime sort of price point for these to explode on Magic Eden. If you're planning to flip. Now, obviously, that's not their goal. They're not flipping their own NFTs. They're there to mint their NFTs out so that they can get capital, so that they can fund and develop this game that they're planning on releasing. So, besides that, I don't have too much more information. I'm bullish on crypto gaming, but besides that, you can scroll through their Twitter yourself. You can check the project out and how the game is actually going to work. They're minting on Monkey Lab, so that makes me think that it would be a whitelist token, because the majority of whitelists that I have been a part of that have minted on Monkey Labs have used tokens. So these tokens could sell for anywhere, I'd say, from 2 Sol and above on Famous Fox Federation's token marketplace. But yeah, there's really not too much information besides that that isn't easily available for you guys to go and have a look at. So yeah, that's basically it. That's it for the video as well. Like I was saying, I cut myself off there. This is the last one that I kind of didn't want to spend too much time on, just wanted to highlight and put on your guys' radar. This one here is called Yokai Gang. Again, it looks like it's going to be a closed Discord, whitelist only maybe project. I got highlighted because I saw this art, this sneak peek here, and I think that is really, really cool art. It's like the illustrated, animated vibe, which is very similar to Moshi Heads, which is minting this week, actually tomorrow. So I did want to put this one on your radar. You can see that they've literally only posted that 6 hours ago, and they have 455 followers at the moment. So very early, wanted to chuck this on your radar and not spend too much time on this at all. But that's the video, guys. If there's any projects you want me to go over, let me know in the comments. Besides that, you can follow me on Twitter. Like I said, I'm doing a Twitter whitelist giveaway for Bochi Bones. And that's pretty much it. And I'll see you next video. Cheers, guys.